Good afternoon to everybody and welcome back. After this brief lunchtime, we are ready to restart. But before starting, I would like only to give you some notice for the closure of our day before you rush out. If you want and if you have the pleasure to stay with us, at 6 o'clock we have, as every day in the pavilion, a performance, a live performance, and today at the small theater of the pavilion. And so we would be happy to come with you to the theater some minutes before when we finish, because we have as main guest today the Orchestra Barocca of Palermo, Conservatorio di Palermo, who was invited here for you. And so it's a special concert that they can have for us. So please stay with us until that time. If we have time, obviously, before the beginning of the concert, you can also have a visit to the visitor experience and to the pavilion. And our students are with us to accompany you. And also later, after the concert is a 30 minutes concert because it's a very small, brief performance that we have every day for all the 6 months. And it's the space from where you enter the pavilion. So we can stop it only for a brief time, and then we restart the visitor experience. If you want to stay with us also later, we could also provide a visit to the Pasona pavilion that is in front of us over the ring. And the president invited all of you. He was here this morning. And he invited all of you to visit the pavilion. So if somebody wants to join, we're happy to accompany you also there. Okay, grazie. Tamo is here to represent also the Pasona Pavilion, and he is also working with us in the coordination of all the music events of the theater. So I leave the floor to Professor Pezzotti, who will be the coordinator of the entire afternoon. Grazie.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We start this panel number 4, and the title is Medical Sciences, Diagnostics, Neuroscience, and Aging Society. I would like to call on the stage the panelists. We have Professor Alessandra Petrucci, who is the rector of University of Florence, and Professor Daniela Mapelli, who is the rector of University of Padua. Professor Tatsuo Kinashi, who is the president of Kansai Medical University. Professor Antonello Garzoni, who is the rector of LUM University of Bari. Professor Akitoshi Katsumata, School of Dentistry, Asahi University. Professor Francesco Svelto, rector of University of Pavia. And Professor Roberto Di Pietra, University of Siena. Then Professor Satoaki Matoba, Vice President of Kyoto Prefectural University of Medicine. And we're missing one chair. Okay. Well, this is a live story. This happens. Anyhow, with this fantastic panelists on the stage, I would like to remind you 2 things. First, you are capable to move your own slides with the command that you have on the desk. And the second thing, if you need to start a video, please start the video, because the staff cannot know when the video should be started. So you have to ask them to start the video at the time you consider to be appropriate, okay? Okay, so without further doing, I would like to call on the stage Professor Alessandra Petrucci, Rector of University of Florence, for her presentation, please.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks to be here. I don't know if I have a video, I don't remember. So we have a video, but we have a wonderful video, but I don't know if we send it, I don't know. However, we have the slides, so absolutely, I'm pleased to share with you an overview of Egypt, aging well in an aging society, one of Italy's most ambitious research programs, both nationally and internationally. Egypt is founded with over 114 million euros to the National Recovery and Resilience Plan and is coordinated by my university. It brings together 27 partners, including universities, research centers, industry, and civic organizations. Our shared goal is to tackle one of the most pressing challenges of our time, population aging. Italy is a country of great longevity, but also among those with the lowest birth rates. Egypt was created to respond to this demographic shift, not just to manage it, but to transform it into an opportunity for innovation and inclusion. Let me highlight a few key points. First, Egypt aims to position Italy as a global leader in aging research, combining insight from the social sciences, biomedical sciences, and advanced technologies. Second, we are committed to developing practical and innovative solutions, social, economic, medical, and technological, to help build a more inclusive society for people of all ages. Third, what makes Egypt unique is its interdisciplinarity approach. We are overcoming the traditional fragmentation of aging research by working across sectors, from academia and healthcare to civil society and the private sector. And crucially, we are not doing this in isolation. Over 100 stakeholders are actively involved, including public institutions, companies, citizens, and so on, ensuring that our work reflects the real needs of society. As you can see here, you see Italy, this is Italy, and this is our network. So we cover all Italy. In short, Egypt represents the first truly integrated national initiative of this kind. Our ambition is for Italy to become a living laboratory to aging research and a model for other countries in Europe and beyond that are facing similar demographic transition. And I know that I'm a social statistician, and I know that also Japan is very interested in this topic. Okay, this is our program, the Egypt program, and here you can see the metrics of the organization of the hub and spoke. This is the first integrated project in Italy that approached the issue of aging with a truly holistic interdisciplinarity and evidence-based strategy. And for the first time, we are building a nationwide alliance among the forces of these three scientific domains. The program is structured around 10 thematic areas or spokes, each focused on a major challenge, from demographic change and multimorbidity to the biology of aging and the silver economy. But AGIT is not just about the research. Our work in basic science extends into technological transfer and education, both of which play a crucial and cross-cutting role within the program. In fact, we have created dedicated scientific committees to ensure we address this aspect with the depth of focus they deserve. They are, for example, the Committee of Lifelong Learning, the Committee on Data Exchange and Interoperability, that on stakeholders' engagement. The synergy between research, training, and innovation is what enables us to move from observation to action, to drive meaningful change in how we study, understand, and respond to aging. The real challenge is the reimagining aging in a positive light. Longer life expectancy is not a problem. It's an extraordinary opportunity. Let me use a simple metaphor. It's as if your calendar has changed and each week has gained an extra day. One more day for us to live, grow, and contribute. And finally, I want to show very, very quickly the role of my university, because it's the coordinator, but I want to stress just two things. First of all, the importance of have a national PhD program on life course research. This is very important for our program, training the next generation for interdisciplinary scholars. And the second one, let me shortly introduce our regional program is an ecosystem. It's very important because it's the only ecosystem in health for the same program of so-called PNRR, and is the Tuscany Health Ecosystem. Because Tuscany Health Ecosystem is align research, innovation, and healthcare practice across the region, and can be viewed as interconnected also with AGIT. To conclude, AGIT is not just a research program, it's a bold step toward a qualitative leap in Italy's national aging research system. Our goal is to make Italy a cutting-edge empirical laboratory, a place where the aging process is not only studied, but as I said before, reimagined through innovation and collaboration. And we are already looking ahead. Our ambition is to establish the Italian Institute of Aging, a gateway to Italy's national network on aging research, an open platform welcoming all stakeholders from science and policy to civil society and industry, and an international reference point for shaping a better, more inclusive future for aging societies around the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Petrucci, for your very insightful discussion. And also I would like now to call Professor Daniela Mapelli on the stage, Rector of University of Padua.
Good afternoon, and welcome to our Japanese colleagues in the Italian pavilion this afternoon. The University of Padua is an institution of excellence in education and research, and we are a comprehensive university. So we are characterized by a strong, very strong multidisciplinary approach. And this cross and multidisciplinary approach is reflected in the wide range of study and research areas that have embraced the AGIT projects. So there are 5 spokes of AGIT that find works areas in UniPD involving 13 departments of the university and nearly 100 researchers. And in this brief presentation, I will try to illustrate some examples of projects and results achieved in almost 3 years of work within the AGIT projects. So let me see if it's work. Yes, perfect. So for the spoke 2 is the spoke for biology of aging. Our researchers identify a novel gene whose expression was under the control of one of the most important longevity pathways. The number of this unknown gene was C16ORF70, that stands for chromosome 16 open reading frame 70. And we renamed it with the acronym of MITO. And MITO stands for Micro Autophagy and Youth Optimizer. Inhibition of MITO, we discovered that inhibition of MITO not only induces premature aging, but also it reduces the lifespan premature mortality in worms, fish, and rodents. On the other hand, activation of MITO induces a significant increase in health span. So let's go to another spoke. Sorry, this, okay. Okay, for the spoke 3 is the spoke for biomarkers and neurodegenerative disease identification. And at the University of Padova, we are conducting nationwide research to identify accurate diagnostic and prognostic biomarkers for age-related neurodegenerative disorders with a specific focus for Parkinson and Alzheimer's disease. And our current studies involve blood-based biomarkers to help classify individuals over 50 who may be at risk of developing disorders. These biomarkers are closely linked to clinical and cognitive measures, providing us with a clearer picture of our patient overall health status. So by integrating biological insights with clinical observation, our research aims not only to understand the mechanism of aging and neurodegeneration, but also to pave the way for early diagnosis, improved care, and ultimately, healthier aging. Let's go to the spoke 4. Spoke 4 is named Tools for Active Aging, and the strength of AGIT lies in the ability to combine different expertise to achieve the best result. So in the spoke 4, dedicating to find solutions for active and healthy aging, epidemiologists, doctors, data scientists, psychologists, psychometricians, economists, and nutrition specialists work together. So through the implementation of experiments, clinical trials, data analysis, useful tools have been produced for both healthcare professionals, such as guidelines, tools for assessing cognitive decline, application for identifying frail individuals, and for adults and elderly people, like informative brochures, app to support active aging, website dedicated, and so on. Okay. Sorry, I will skip this one. And let's go to the last spoke. It's the spoke number 9. The title of this spoke is Advances Geron Technologies. And working at the frontiers in robotic innovation, the University of Padova is leading the research on intelligent robotic exoskeletons. Exoskeleton, as you know, are wearable robots designed for assisting the movement of people with motor disabilities. We are working in the creation of intelligent exoskeletons to assist the older people in their everyday life. Engineering and neuroscientists are creating a new generation of devices to augment the ability of older adults to reduce the risk of falling. Artificial intelligence is also used to process the brain and the muscle signals to drive the exoskeletons in an intuitive way. 3D computer vision algorithms are used to avoid all the obstacles. And the human-robot integration is personalized with a user-centered approach which adapts the behavior of the exoskeletons. So that's it for the University of Padova in the AGIT project, a national AGIT project. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor Mappelli, and for letting us know the fantastic discovery of Maito, which is very new story for us. Thank you so much. I would like now to call Professor Tatsuo Kinashi, President of Kansai Medical University, on the stage. Please, Professor Kinashi.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to first let me introduce the Kansai Medical University. Our university is a medical university complex with the faculty of the medicine, nursing, and rehabilitation. The university has a long history of the contribution of healthcare in the northwestern Osaka. Our university has 4 affiliated hospitals with the 4,000 patients visit our hospital a day. So we are striving to provide the advanced medicine and also comprehensive the total care from the preventive medicine to health, the rehabilitation and the home visit care. In terms of education, we educate the patient with the founding spirit with the benevolence, compassion, empathy to become the patient-centered professional with a research mindset. Our university also the research university. The Times Higher Education in 2023 ranked #1 research impact in the medical field. We have 3 institutions of the medical science. Especially, we have a strong background with the cancer and personalized the genomic medicine, and also we have a strong background with the regenerative medicine. Especially, we are leading the medical research in the area of cancer therapy. Our photoimmunotherapy laboratory established in 2022, which is the only institute that research on photoimmunotherapy near-infrared light. We also established the Biomedical Engineering Center in last October 2024, and Professor Pezzotti, with the director of the center, and we explore the international, interdisciplinary medicine through this center. So, this right. Okay. So we are aiming at growth and excellence through innovation and healthcare to solve the serious issues in aging societies. Probably Japan and Italy share the same challenges in the aging population and the low birth rate, such as we have many patients with the chronic disease such as cancer, dementia, and the locomotive syndrome. So we try to activate these researches by global networking. In education and research area. So we have a number of the joint symposium between Italy and TMU last year on robotics, foods, and regeneration and exosome and so on. And to explore the collaboration in Italian institutions. So this led to the comprehensive academic MOU conclusion. The first is the Polytechnic University of Turin, Polytechnic di Torino, on bioengineering, and we have just started the double degree programs of bioengineering. In this PhD program, the students can receive the 2 PhD degree on engineering and also medicine within the 4 years or 3 years in Italian students. And we also have an opportunity to visit the Ca' Foscari University Venice, and we quickly have a matching the interest. So we just started the opening the joint academic hub, one each campus. So just last March, we visited the Ca' Foscari, and we celebrated the opening of the joint hub. And also, just yesterday, we inaugurated the opening of the our Ca' Foscari and the TMU hub in Hirakata campus. This hub works as a recruitment of the a lot of the collaboration, including the exchange of students and researchers, and also the government people, and also business community. So in the coming August, we are having a summer school of Ca' Foscari and San Camillo and Ferrara. They are all partners for us, and on the little island. And we discuss on the issues of the molecular science, and also regenerative medicine, and also robotics and immunology. So through these collaborative work, we try to activate the research on the aging societies, that we provide a solution for the suffered patients. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Kinashi, for explaining us the activity of Kansai Medical University. Now I would like to call on the podium Professor Antonello Garzoni, who is the rector of LUM University of Bari. Please, Professor.
Konnichiwa. So, good evening to everyone. Good evening to everyone. As a professor of strategic management, probably it is not so easy for me to enter in specifically in this topic of the panel, but I would like to introduce a very important project in which we are cooperating, that is the HEAL Italia. HEAL stands for Health Extended Alliance for Innovative Therapies. It is a very intense research project that is carried out by over 70 partners. It is led by University of Palermo, and we are part of the university partners. And among these partners, we have more than universities, and also research centers, hospitals, and companies that are part of this project. The foundation HEAL Italia is a foundation that is focused on technological innovation for diagnostic and innovation therapies for precision medicine. And we develop precision medicine to prevent, delay, and treat serious diseases, shifting from one-size-fits-all to a customized solution. That is the vision of the project that is part of the precision medicine application. So the idea is personalized care focused on 2 areas. One is among the different diseases, the cancer treatment, And the second one is the cardiovascular diseases. These are the most important causes of death that are in Italy, but probably in every part of the world. So we will focus with the two projects that are carried out by my university in these two areas, that are the two units that are focusing on these topics. The idea of the approach and the vision of this project is the prevention through artificial intelligence-driven diagnostic and tailored care. So the idea is a therapist that should be personalized, but also the idea that is not only medicine and the analysis of a scientist according to medicine, but is an interdisciplinary understanding that encompasses not only medicine, but also engineering, computer science, and of course all the area that could be part of technology development. According to the two projects in which my university, LUM University, it is a small private university in the south of Italy, we do have 4 departments, management, law, medicine and surgery, and engineering. We were focused on 2 projects. One is together with the University of Ferrara, that is leading as a spoke. And the idea of this project is the modulation of intracellular calcium signaling as a new antitumoral precision strategy. This is a part of a specific treatment about cancer by understanding through artificial intelligence and also through biology as a ultimate goal to identify new biomarkers and therapeutic targets for these aggressive tumors. So the idea is focusing on the prevention and understanding through technology and medicine how we can go through that. And the team that my university is focusing on will also develop and optimize protocols for testing drug combinations. So it's not focused only on the biomarkers, but also on the treatment. The second project, that is a project that we have with, as a spoke leader, University of Bologna. It is focused on the home-based enhanced assistance for lifelong telehealth and prevention in the cardiovascular area. So the 2 topics are cancer and cardiovascular diseases. In this case, what we have to consider is that there is a solution proposed about the project, and the vision of the project is a telemedicine system capable of offering continuous and personalized digital prevention, supporting people in managing their health directly at home. The idea is very simple. There is an ICT platform that is already tested, and the idea of the telemedicine system use the smart TV in order to have the device that is already connected in the home to the internet, and this smart TV is integrated with an app in which every body weight, blood pressure, body composition, ECG that comes from different apps that normally we have in our home are totally grouped and sent to the ICT platform in order to prevent, do some kind of prevention among the idea of clinical treatment that could prevent clinical treatment. So the project is a special project, and we hope that through these initiatives we can transform the current healthcare model that is overloaded, especially in the regions of southern Italy, in order to promote solutions that guarantee fair and sustainable access to prevention services with simple and intuitive means for users that normally do not have digital skills. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Garzoni, for introducing us this very innovative initiative of Heal Italia. So I would like to call now Professor Akitoshi Katsumata, School of Dentistry, Asahi University, on the podium, please.
Hello, my name is Katsumata. I'm a dentist, and my specialty, the research topics belongs to radiology and AI. And I'm focused on the osteoporosis, one of the famous age-related disease. Because my English is not so good, so I ask my AI to make explanation.
Osteoporosis is a disease characterized by bone brittleness that can lead to fragility fractures. The onset of osteoporosis is closely related to age and gender, with the incidence rate increasing markedly in women in their 50s and beyond. Accordingly, in Japan, which is facing general population aging, the number of patients with osteoporosis is estimated to be 13 to 15 million or more. Bone fractures due to osteoporosis often occur in the proximal femur and vertebral bodies. Proximal femur fractures, in particular, are reportedly associated with mortality rates of up to 10% 1 year after the fracture. Not only proximal femoral fractures, but also vertebral body fractures lead to markedly decreased quality of life and increased risks of death. In addition, there have been an increasing number of cases where the patient with fragility fractures due to osteoporosis is unable to restore their social life even after surgery and eventually becomes bedridden and requires long-term care. Osteoporosis is estimated to result in 2 trillion yen of medical and nursing care costs in 2025. These costs are expected to continue to rise with increasing population aging. In dentistry, there has been increasing attention paid to a screening method for potential patients with osteoporosis to be used by the dentist observing the morphology of the cortical bone at the lower margin of the mandible using panoramic X-ray images taken for dental treatment. However, this method is not widely used in dental clinics because of the lack of dedicated equipment and software. We have developed software that assists the dentist in determining the likelihood of osteoporosis based on an assessment of jawbone fragility by automatically analyzing dental panoramic X-ray images with AI image processing technology.
Now let's look at the changes in a person's teeth and bones as they progress through the life stages. Panoramic X-ray images taken at the dental clinic show an overall view of the teeth and jaw bones. This is a young patient in his 20s. Panoramic X-ray images of young patients can reveal impacted wisdom teeth. As progress through the life stage, you will reach middle age. People in their 40s and 50s are at an age where they need to be careful about periodontal disease. In panoramic X-ray images of patients with periodontal disease, resorption of the alveolar bone that supports the teeth can be observed. They reach the elderly age of 70 to 80. When you have osteoporosis, the cortical bone of the lower jaw becomes thin and porous. This allows us to detect possible osteoporosis in panoramic dental X-rays. We provide softwares that uses AI technology to analyze the condition of teeth and bones from panoramic X-ray images. Screening for systemic diseases from panoramic X-ray images helps improve quality of life.
Okay, yeah, my hope is that some of the joint research or joint clinical application project we can help with Italian universities and companies in near future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Katsumata. Now I would like to call on the podium Professor Francesco Svelto, Rector of University of Pavia.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Honestly,
I fear the dentist. So talking soon after him, I didn't expect it. So I'll try to do my best, but it's not really easy. Now, in fact, is a program inside the recovery plan, much in the same way as AGIT. It is a multidisciplinary project addressing emerging infectious diseases. Okay, so the partnership inside the recovery plan are roughly, on average at least, the same. In fact, this program has 150 millions, exactly as your program, and we start with 300 researchers, and it's exactly the same number, which means that we are using the money in the same good way or bad way, because numbers come together. Now, in fact, is a program that relies on a high-profile public and private institutions from all over Italy. We are 25 founders, 15 universities, public and private. Then there is the National Research Council, the Institute of Health, and then we have the whole network of veterinary institutes, which is key in such a program, plus 5 research hospitals. So, as I said, together we have 25 institutions, and the researchers are organized in 5 spokes, or 5 nodes. 3 are vertical nodes, meaning that this is where you go for an in-depth research and you try to discover new basic things, while the other 2 nodes are more horizontal, meaning that they use the outcome and they try to build on these results. Now, from the node 1, University of Pavia is coordinating the whole program and is also responsible for the node 1, which is emerging and re-emerging viruses. For node 2, University of Padova is responsible, and it is entitled Arthropod Vectors and Vector-Borne Pathogen. Node 3 is in charge of University of Catania and is about antimicrobial resistance. Then, regarding node 4, what we are trying to do is developing models regarding epidemiology, for example, mathematical tools to model the epidemic, as we could see during the pandemic. It was rather tough. Well, we already had the model, but then we should refine and be ready for an eventual new problem in the future. Now, if we look at our organization, we can see that the 5 research nodes are highly interconnected, and you can see from this diagram, in the center you see the 3 research nodes, and here we focus on target characterization validation through molecular studies, then identification and characterization of new biomarkers, both in viruses and bacteria, but also in vector-borne pathogens. So from these results, we feed, as I said before, the horizontal investigations, contributing, for example, candidate on the left in the node 5, small molecules, hits, that are identified through screening campaigns. Then you see innovative diagnostic technologies that are also done in research node 4, and then in node 5, and then in node 4 we have genomic surveillance strategies that are applied to human, but also to animals, domestic and wild, but also to the environment. Finally, this is a very important also aspect. We try to combine the clinical data and protocols applying to an extensive network of research hospitals all over Italy, in the country, so that the results of this partnership can be instrumental to develop a real response against new possible future epidemic and pandemic. So in this way, we try to really give a response through the national health system to treat and be ready to activate monitoring of possible spreading. As this diagram shows, there is a high interconnection. In fact, the results of the nodes are shared, continuously feed new investigation and improvement of protocols and technologies for the benefit of the network. Now, again, we started from 25 institutions, 300 researchers, but then one peculiarity of all this partnership program is that we have calls with dedicated money. We open the call, and then other institutions can come together and be involved in this research. Now, with this addition of manpower, and new intelligent people that joined the program, we are now 800 people, and this is the last year, starting now. And then we hope we can build in Europe, but also wherever, what can be the next aspect of this research. Now, I think Professor and Rector Di Pietra will say something more inside INFACT program, because he's also taking care of a spoke, and he will talk about the spoke of University of Siena. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Svelto. And now the continuation by Professor Roberto Di Pietra, who is from the University of Siena, please.
Thank you, Professor Pezzotti. While I'm taking my time to thank all of you, you can see from where I came from, which are my places. So you watch the slide, and I thank all the authorities that have given me the opportunity to be here today. So the Ministry of University and Research, CRUI, the President Jan Antuoni, and the Italian Embassy here in Japan, in Tokyo, Ambassador Battani, and all of the invited, colleagues of the universities here in Japan. Just a few words about the involvement of the University of Siena in the INFACT network, the extended partnership to which the University of Siena belongs. This partnership is funded, as many of the other programs described today, through the Next Generation EU program from the European Union, from the European Commission. So the National Recovery and Resilience Plan we have adopted in Italy to fund research, to develop research in these 3 years, almost 3 years. In fact, aims to be a multidisciplinary approach. Is a multidisciplinary approach because, as my good colleague Francesco Svelto said, is an approach in which we try to put together and bridge together different disciplines. And this is what we have done and tried to do in Siena. In fact, we aim to be multidisciplinary. This approach has tried to follow some of these areas, in particular emerging and re-emerging viruses, and the arthropod vector and vector-borne pathogens, involving the activity of some of my departments, departments in my universities. We have 3 departments in particular involved in these researches. These departments belongs to the biomedical and medical area, and also there is a department in chemistry and biochemistry and pharmacy involved in this activity. So as you can imagine, different fields, different disciplines involved in this setting. This means not only research, this means also the activity is impacting our teaching activity, so courses, PhD programs, and research activities. This is, let me underline this point in the short time I have available. This is, in our case, not, just because of the program funded by the European Union, but because of our history. We have a long history dating back 1 century in the viruses and in the development of vaccines. Siena is a place in which the development of vaccines has started 100 years ago, more than 100 years ago, with the polio, anti-polio vaccine and other activities like this. So we try to bridge these activities, the research activities, this research program, together with the activity of other, public and private institutions, companies, for instance. This is the reason why in Siena there is a national institution called Biotechnopole Foundation in charge to surveil the pandemic and the risk and the pandemic risk. And this is the reason why a few days ago we launched the European Vaccines Hub, that is an hub grouping together the anti-pandemic institutions in Europe, among the many others, the Institut Pasteur in Paris. And this is the reason why we have Tuscany Life Science Foundation, and we have many companies operating in the field in the development of vaccines related to the risk of viruses or other pathogens arising in the humanity. This is what we have to do. It is strictly linked with, the two approaches mentioned before, precision medicine and One Health approach, because this is, the frontier in the medicine research. Let me conclude with something that is recalling our past. This is the pilgrimage in one of the oldest institutions we have in Siena. At the beginning, it was an hospitality place, hosting the pilgrims coming from Canterbury to Rome in the past, and after became the hospital. Hospitality and hospital have the same Latin root. This is the care of and governance of SIGS. And this fresco from Domenico di Bartolo, dating back the 15th century, is telling us what we do when we have to face with the health of the people, doing research. By chance, I have a pointer with me in my pocket. It is, I'm lucky. This guy is the rector in the center. Here, this one, the pointer doesn't work. This one, this is the rector. Confirming that the hospital and the hospitality is strictly linked with the activity of the universities, century by century. We do this work century by century. Thank you. Arigato doimasu.
Thank you, Professor Di Pietra. Then I would like to call on the stage Professor Satoaki Matoba, from Vice President of Kyoto Prefectural University of Medicine, please.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm Satoaki Matoba, Vice President of Kyoto Prefecture University of Medicine. Actually, I'm a physician in the Department of Cardiovascular Cardiovascular Medicine. So I'd like to present the Kyotango longevity cohort study. So as you may know, this area is the northern part of Kyoto. Our university located in the center of Kyoto. Northern part of Kyoto, rate of centenarians who live longer than 100 years, rate is 3 times higher than average of Japan. And the man on the right side is Mr. Jiroemon Kimura, is a World Guinness holder of longevity of male. He died in 116. It's very difficult to find out why he lived so long. So our university is a medical university, so we try to find out the reason of healthy longevity in this area. And we collaborate with other prefectures. Japan consists of 14 prefectures. And Aomori prefecture they have a shortest lifespan for 115 years. So doctors from Hirosaki University asked us to compare the factor between Aomori and Kyotango. So you can see the pyramid here. So there are 2,000 items. We can ask a lot of questionnaire and physical test, and dentist also working, and we check everything. And it's not so expensive, about $600. And we can continue to this kind of examination for healthy longevity people in Kyotango and other people in Hirosaki, Okinawa, Wakayama. You may know Okinawa is one of the famous area of blue zone. I think in Italy you have also Sandinia Island. San Island is a blue zone. So after the examination of this study, we found 5 key factors. So one key factor is bond, nexus with food. We learned this morning that food is very important. And the second is communication. Communication, they speak very well. So communication, avoid aspiration pneumonia, and they have many teeth over 80s. The third is dietary fiber from the food. The dietary fiber from food is good for intestine, probiotics, and everything. And fourth is exercise. As you may know, exercise is important for osteoporosis or cardiovascular event. And fifth, the last one is ikigai. Do you know ikigai? Ikigai is a Japanese sense of purpose of life. If aging people enjoy their life, it is well-being life. So all of them have some kind of ikigai, hobbies or work, anything. So these 5 key factors is very important. So we can learn from them, but we also find several amino acids is very good for their longevity. And that amino acid will be presented in the next month. We will hold the first World Longevity Summit in Kyotango. And one of the Italian professor, Stefani Badi, maybe you may know. So she will present governance of aging society. So, and other Hobart's doctor, several famous doctor, Yoshimori for autophagy will come and present in Kyotango Summit. The summit next month, and the registration is still available. And the last year, we published the recipe for 100 years of life in English, but I'm thinking to translate to Italian today. So, yeah, thank you. So, if it is available, this model is good for research to collaborate between in our country or international disciplinary study. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Matoba. All the speakers have been very good in keeping the time, so I thank you so much for your contributions, very enlightening. And please make a last greeting to all the professors. Thank you. Please leave the stage. Yes, thank you. My pleasure. So I think today we have learned very important things, how to live longer, at least. And now we are preparing the stage for the next panel. Is exactly the panel 5, which includes new technologies, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and telecommunications. So I would like to call on the stage the panelists, Dr. Satoshi Matsuoka, Director of RIKEN Center for Computational Science. Please, Professor Matoba. Professor Matoba is not here. Oh, yes, please. Thank you. Then Professor Masahiro Yoshimoto, President of Kyoto Institute of Technology. Please, Professor Yoshimoto, on the stage. Then Professor Eugenio Guglielmelli, Rector of University Campus Biomedico of Rome. Then Professor Katsuaki Oya, Member of the Board of Directors, the University of Electrocommunications. And then Professor Motohiro Tsuchiya, Vice President for Global Engagement, Keio University. Thank you very much to all the panelists to come on the stage. And without further doing, I would like to call Dr. Satoshi Matsuoka, Director of RIKEN Center, for his presentation. Please, Professor Matsuoka.
Okay. Thank you very much for this honorable invitation. I'm Satoshi Matsuoka. I'm Director of RIKEN Center for Computational Science. So what do we do? So many people may know that RIKEN is the leading scientific institute, is the national lab of Japan, consisting of 13 research centers, and we are one of them. What we do is high-performance computing. Now, unfortunately, I have some slides, but since I had to arrive late due to some visits of some VIPs at my center, I couldn't upload the slides. I'm sorry. So I have to give you the whole spiel verbally. So what do we do? What do we do? Well, we do high-performance computing, or supercomputing. And when you divide it up into what we mean by supercomputing, we can divide it up into 3 segments. One is we study computing, high-performance computing in itself, as scientific target. And secondly, we use this immense power, the so-called exascale in the current moment, computing, to drive sciences of other disciplines, like environmental science, medical science, or energy, manufacturing, and basic sciences like astronomy, cosmology. And these days, these are not just driven by traditional simulation science. You have the physical equations that you discretize and you try to solve the problem. That's a very classical HPC. But we also know that modern day AI, principally those that people regard as foundation models or large language models, etc., are also driven by high-performance computing. Because we all know that in order to train these very large models consisting hundreds of billions of parameters, you need a dedicated exascale supercomputer and train the model with months of computing. Okay. So computing has become the foundation of a society, and also foundation to drive the scientific advances. That is to say, computing has been used to drive things like the weather simulation or aircraft designs. But now with AI for science is driving new innovations. Even the last speakers, they were mentioning their use AI. Well, how do they use AI? These AI models have been developed on supercomputers. Now, with regards to collaboration between Europe, especially Italy, and Japan, there's been long-standing collaboration, but most recently, both Japan and Europe has been investing significantly into supercomputing. So Europe has this very large flagship project, EuroHPC. And with the fundings of billions of euros, Europe has been quickly fortifying its high-performance computing research as well as its infrastructure. And one of the leadership machines of EuroHPC is in Italy at Cenica. I'm in Bologna. I've been there several times in my advisory role. I have very good friends there. So Italy certainly has been one of the leading countries in terms of facilitating and doing research on high-performance computing and simulation and AI and now quantum. But similarly in Japan, so we have many centers, but RIKEN, in particular my center, RIKEN's RCCS or Center for Computational Science, is the flagship center, and that we do research, but also design and build a very large-scale supercomputer. Now, the current machine is called Fugaku. It consists of 160,000 CPUs, 160,000. It occupies the space of about 3,000 square meters, or about half the size of a football field, and has the capability to compute has exascale performance. Exascale is 10 to the 18th compute you can do in 1 second. And we make use of this power to drive the sciences, not just within RIKEN, but also throughout Japan. And we also have affiliate organizations, university centers that have smaller machines. But collectively, just like your HPC, we have an infrastructure, HPCI, High Performance Computing Infrastructure of Japan. Not very innovative name. But still, we have this a network of supercomputers that the researchers use. So the total collective use of these machines, the researchers count the number in like tens of thousands. And also significantly used by the industry. Because the industry, for example, my machine Fugaku, about 70% of the users of the projects running on Fugaku involves industry in one way or the other. It could be purely industrial workload, or it could be some basic science workload, but may involve some industry participants from day one. 70%. Also, Fugaku is recognized if you go out to the streets of Japan and you ask some total stranger, you know Fugaku? Chances are they know, because we've taken polls to see what's the popularity, how many people out in the wild, not scientists, but general people know Fugaku. About 70% of people know what Fugaku is as a supercomputer somewhere in Kobe, just across the bay from here. Now, moving forward, we are in collaboration again with our European entities, our European friends, including Cenica, in order to design the next generation of computing. So we will move ahead to build now the Zetascale computer in 2030. Zetascale is 1,000 times the speed of Fugaku in AI. We will also integrate quantum computers. Next month, in collaboration with IBM, we will have the latest and largest quantum computer will be facilitated at our center and directly attached to Fugaku to serve as accelerator and also to facilitate what's the so-called hybrid quantum HPC computing. We will also work with our partners both in Europe and also with the US, for example, DOE, to facilitate the latest in AI for science models consisting of trillions of parameters. So it's exciting times. High-performance computing, driving science, driving innovation, and we hope to work with my European friends, especially my friends in Italy, with Jenica, to enable a better world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Masuoka. Very interesting speech. And I would like to call on the stage Professor Masahiro Yoshimoto. He's the president of Kyoto Institute of Technology. Please, Professor Yoshimoto.
Thank you for your kind introduction, Professor Pezzotti. It is a great honor for me to have this opportunity to speak in this forum. Since its establishment of Kyoto Institute of Technology, this university has been strong in the field of design and architecture and material science. Today, I'd like to introduce our university exchange with Italy in cutting-edge fields of material science and semiconductor engineering. First, as a bilateral joint research project between JSPS and the CNR, development of precious metal-free room temperature luminescence materials for sensing applications is underway, taking advantage of respective strengths of our university and the University Milan. This is expected to be a bioimaging material that can measure temperature distribution with high spatial resolution on a nanoscale with a limited area, such as a cell. When utilizing a semiconductor devices, along with the high quality of the semiconductor itself, it is important to optimize material interface for low contact resistance. Thanks to the advanced measurement technology at the Politecnico di Torino, contact resistance is being reduced with good prospects. I'd like to touch on my collaboration in the field of the semiconductor materials with the University of Padova. This was a valuable opportunity for me personally. University of Padova has one of the world's most advanced research groups for semiconductor characterization. The semiconductors created by my group were evaluated by the Padova's group, and my understanding of the semiconductor was greatly enhanced. In collaboration with Politecnico Milano, our university has also achieved significant results in basic research on graphene, a new electric materials. The results have been published in high-impact journals. On the educational side, our new project, Joint Tech Laboratories, has been adopted by the Japanese Ministry of Education, MEXT, and is promoting practical step-by-step research experience at the master level students in collaboration with Ca' Foscari University of Venice in the field of the bio-nanotechnology and biomolecular chemistry, and the University of Udine in the field of material science and metallurgy. Professor Milan is from Italy. Thus, Italian university have become important partners for us. Thank you very much for great contribution, Professor Pezzotti. Let us move on to the topics of building a new industry academic platform. We established a Kyoto Korea Forum to build a new industry academia collaboration platform. It consists of 8 companies and 9 universities, and companies include Kyoto's leading global companies such as Horiba, Kyocera, and Murata Manufacturing. The forum is focusing on cutting-edge basic research in which Japan is falling behind developed and emerging countries and fields, creating and nurturing new business and from the research. Here, companies and the university will work together across boundaries to solve social issues and create new industries. Such efforts are unique to Kyoto, where tradition and cutting-edge technology coexist and where the companies and the university have close relationships. In this forum, I've shown in these pictures the corporate managers and executives, as well as the university executives and officials, gathers regularly to actively exchange frank opinions about the highly skilled human resources that future industry will need. We also actively hold events where the doctoral students and the companies can interact. This picture shows the event where doctoral students from the engineering, medicine, and the humanities and the participants from the companies come together to make presentations and interact. For doctoral students, it is also a place to promote themselves to companies. The goal is to create not just a big place for joint research, but a knowledge resonance field that harmonizes, shares, and knowledge of the academia and the companies. Kyoto Institute of Technology will continue to play a role as a hub for industry-university collaboration in Kyoto area and to the world, together with our partner Italian universities. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Yoshimoto. And now I would like to call on the stage Professor Eugenio Guglielmelli, Rector of University Campus Biomedico of Rome. Please, Professor.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to participate in this very relevant event, this first forum of Italian and Japanese universities. Thank you to Mario Vattani, the Commission General of Expo 2025 Italy in Osaka, and also to the President, Professor Giovanna Ionantuani of the Conference of the Italian Universities that really supported this idea of having more and more this international connection. So the topic of my talk today is related to another of the main projects of the National Plan for Recovery and Resilience, the PNRR Plan, Future Artificial Intelligence Research FAIR project. It's a very relevant initiative, of course, the dimension in terms of partners, in terms of investments, you see more than 100 billion euros and 25 main partners as founder of this initiative. This is now more and more opening the connections to other partners, also from the industrial sectors, also with open calls that are associated to specific topics where there is a need of investments for promoting the right approach for the targets and KPI of these relevant projects. And you see there are many of the universities today with us in this delegation which are partners of this topic. Just to give you a specific idea of the key pillars of this research program, like on these other PNRR projects, we have 10 main projects, 10 spokes, focused on key pillars. First of all, human-centered AI, so how to develop these intelligent systems with a human-centered approach. It should not marginal for human beings, should be more and more empowering and improving the quality of professional and social life of human operators. But also these pervasive and symbiotic AI, so more and more approaches which are supporting the idea of being more and more focused on ideas that can be somehow supporting the capability of artificial intelligence to allocate roles to humans and technologies in the proper way. We should also have symbiotic approaches when you have to be resilient in very unpredictable situations, scenarios where initial allocation of roles could be not the optimal solutions for this type of systems. And of course, AI should be also a very robust solution. And you see there are many pillars, adaptiveness, but also high quality approaches with benchmarking, also different approaches mapped, monitored, also worldwide for this type of solutions that should be also more and more resilient, as mentioned, and also integrative AI, so that it could be possible to have a variety of methods, technologies, discipline, different type of expertise on AI, with the integration of also on symbolic or sub-symbolic approaches for supporting the most effective solutions, but also the most robust solutions. And last but not least, there is also a focus on sustainability, because there should be the possibility to have the right approach in terms of age and exa scale. So minimized, very focused solutions, but also cloud solution, exascale solutions, more large dimension applied in many different scenarios that can be shared more and more. And green sustainability, green awareness of this solution should be more and more relevant for not only economic, but also social, environmental sustainability of AI-based solutions, and also sustainable by cognitive AI. So the way that how this solution can be supporting generative, creative approaches with learning, planning, with human-inspired, also taking inspiration from the talents, the Nobel Prizes, the way the best human beings can solve solutions, not just a generative AI based on purely artificial solutions. So these, you see, key pillars are also related to transversal projects that are contributing to all of these pillars. So very, very relevant solutions on legal and ethical key issues that are very challenging for these innovative AI systems, but also multimodal challenges for sure, using multimodal data, but also we are investing a lot on key pillars on large multimodal model, for example, for application on medical data with synthetic approaches, integrating text, imaging, videos, all other type of possible contributions. We have a pilot project in this PNRR FAIR project that is using for the first time a database of 7 billion of clinical data of patients for sharing these multimodal approaches in the right way. And there is also a very important pilot project on the large language model, how to use language generation in the right way. So linguistic model based on supercomputing platforms. That's a key pillar also with Meta AI, Metaverse, and also improving generation of linguistic models, again, comparing best benchmarking solutions to be more and more optimized step by step. So all these key pillars, of course, they have specific results and target AI. It will be a pleasure to be connecting for this solution. And my last message is for what I would like to share today is that this key pillar, this very important PNRR FAIR project, is also connected to these other two very important initiatives promoted also with the strong support of many universities joined here, including my university. This is the Fit for Medical Robotics in the complementary plan to the national plan. Is additional investment on the national plan on recovery and resilience on medical robotics. So how to revolutionize rehab assistive models in the right way with also physical, not just cognitive, but also physical interaction with human beings to improve quality of life, also for longevity, all the things you were mentioning, not just for post-acute therapies. And I also mentioned the national program on AI, PhD course on artificial intelligence that is now including more than 600 PhD students with 70 partners, universities, research institutions, many enterprises. It is, of course, more and more an international program, wants to be more and more connected on the key pillar, the 5 key pillars coordinated by the 5 universities who are driving. So for sure, I think this is a clear evidence on how much we are investing, and I can confirm full availability that we would like to have more and more mobility, not only on PhD students, but also undergraduate students and young researchers, talents, but also visiting professors, and whatever type of synergy we can imagine with also ongoing projects in Japan, or new projects to be launched together, especially because this is a plan on recovery and resilience, should not just a project that ends and has no impact, no way. We have a big challenge to have an impact that is on innovation, improving quality of life, but also life of the enterprises in our countries. So having a global scenario, more and more oriented to the global market in the right way with sustainable, also human-centered approach is a key pillar of this project. So for sure, we are fully available of synergies with the initiatives that can be the right way to collaborate with the Japanese community. And I just mentioned as a final message that there will be also the opportunity, it's a pleasure to have in Florence, tight synergy with the University of Florence. We will have in 2027, so at the end of the National Plan of Recovery and Resilience, it's a pleasure to host an initiative that starts from Japan. It was funded by scientific Japanese associations on robotics and intelligent systems. The IROS 2027 conference will be hosted in Italy. For sure, it will be. It's a pleasure for me to general chair of this event in Italy for the first time in Italy. It will be a pleasure. It could be also a connection about our communities, but hopefully it would be better to keep in touch even before 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Guglielmelli. And now I would like to call on the stage Professor Katsuaki Oya, member of the Board of Directors, the University of Electrocommunications. Please, Professor Oya.
Thank you. Good evening, and now good afternoon. This time to be a bit getting trouble, get tired for you this afternoon, but please allow me to speak a little bit about. This time the theme is a little bit complicated for me because it's new technology, artificial intelligence, or security, and so on. It really covers all of the IT areas, including my university. And this technology is in comparison with the food or the other long histories researches, it's very short, I should say. Our university just started only 100 years ago. 100 years is not a long time at all. Just only my age plus 30-some years is 100 years. Almost similar as our age. It's just only for the new technology, so-called IT, or science and engineering. Of course, in comparison with the famous scientists in Italy, it's a few hundred years ago, almost 500. But new technology with digital or computers, communication, it's so young. And the one reason I made this slide is why I'm introducing my university for you is my university is also similar as the new technology or new engineering. That is, UEC see the University of Electrical Communications located in Tokyo, Japan, just only started 104 years ago. Just right after the tragedy of Titanic, you know. That's the big thing. Ship sank down, lots of people died. Then the radio operator just only tried to send the telegram of the passengers. And no other ships couldn't help the ship because of the lack of radio communication. That's why just 100 years ago, but all the operators all over the world, all over the government, decided to educate radio operators, train radio operators. Then Japanese government also decided to make this organization 100 years ago for the operation of radio operator. That's it. And then that time, the radio operation was, you know about the Morse code, not music. It's Morse code. It's 0 and 1. It's similar as a digital, you know. Starting from a digital is our university. Then, after 100 years, what happened is, they're starting only from the Morse code, expanding to digital and communication and the computers. Now we have all the data science, AI, and the quantum, laser science, and the robotics, and everything. That is starting from one technology, but necessity made everything adaptive. Interdisciplinary is talked about in our university. Intradisciplinary happens, starting from one technology, that's communication. Analog to digital is the first one, and next the communication to computer, processing, and the data, and expanding. And then going down to quantum or laser, as going down to the bottom, and going up to the bottom applications. So new technologies all the time are changing and also developed by the human beings. And the important thing is how we can adopt a new technology for the human beings as application. That's why interdisciplinary is very important. Without the usage of the technology, it's nothing happens, just only. Without human beings, similar as nothing happens, that's why. Without only technology or computer technology, nothing happens. So with the medical or other things, interdisciplinary is the most important thing to develop that new technology as well. Just a little about, please explain my university a little bit about. And we have, university is not a big university. It's small, started from operators. That's why we have only about 5,000 students, including PhDs, and only 500 faculty and staff, very small. If you talk about the big universities such as Rome or Firenze, yeah, probably one of the department, but very sharp because starting from the sharp and getting wider. So we have now 10 research centers, such as AI or data science and mechanical engineering or quantum, laser, nanotypology. It's very wide and deep. And such as the fields, new energies included. So you see that this is a small circle, sorry about that, very small characters, hard to read, but all the fields are divided in 3 clusters, 1, 2, 3, and then 11 field. So these are all the areas is really expanding to a wide area, but each area is really sharp and have new technologies. And the important thing is all the new areas and new technologies divided into one application or one direction, how to use it. So this one of these is not real top. Everything is the top of the research areas. And for example, this is AI and the Data Science Research Center is the newest research center in our university. And one of the top AI research center in Japan. And also the biggest, one of the biggest. But started only 20 years ago. But AI technology is not new, actually. When I was young, 40 years ago, still the AI and artificial intelligence exist. But the reason why the computer was very slow, so it's useless. There is a logical and, of course, logic and AI programs and so on, but it was useless then. So 3 generations needed to get this large language model or then, but still, LLM is not really enough at all. I'm using, or I'm also, even our student using LLM model and making the report. And also professor using it to check the LLM to check the report. But the important thing is we need the human brains, how to sense it. That LLM is just only based upon the data, and then human beings, natural science is very important. The combination of LLM and also AI is very important for us, how we can communicate. And also Kaggle Grandmaster is a new data science program. It's a world top. We have world top, but not enough at all. And I talk too much, sorry about that. And so new technology is not really new all the time. The important things in interdiscipline and intradiscipline, both we need it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Oya. I would like now to call on the stage Professor Motohiro Tsuchiya, Vice President for Global Engagement, Keio Universities.
Ciao, konnichiwa. I'm Motohiro Tsuchiya, Vice President for Global Engagement at Keio University. I'm wearing a tie, which Professor Ian Antoni gave me when she and Chloe delegation visited my university last year. So thank you very much for fancy tie, and thank you for visiting us. And so I want to thank the Italian Expo team too, because you brought us a very gorgeous treasures to us. So I checked the treasures during the lunchtime. So you brought the Da Vinci and Michelangelo and other things. So I looked at them. I was so much impressed. Thank you for bringing us your treasures. But Keio University is one of the oldest modern educational institutions in Japan. But we cannot compare with Italian universities. You have the oldest history in terms of university education. But I don't have fancy slides today, unfortunately. But our university founder is very famous in Japanese society because he was printed on 10,000 yen banknotes. He is the founder of Keio University. But very bad news. Bank of Japan changed this design last year. Oh. But that's okay. So finally, Japan is entering a cashless society. And so, yeah. And we are trying to recycling papers, so, right? So for the sustainable future. So if you have still in your pockets banknotes, just give it to me for recycling. So we are collecting them actually. But anyway, yeah, thank you so much. And I'm a political scientist by training, but focusing on cybersecurity these days. This morning, the Japanese government held a top-layer strategic meeting for cybersecurity at the Prime Minister's office. I was called to attend it, but I canceled it to be here with you. But as far as I understand, this morning, Cybersecurity Strategy Headquarters of Japan discussed what we should do after passing so-called active cyber defense measures, 2 laws actually, earlier this month. It is one big step forward for us to make our cybersecurity better. And we will have a new cybersecurity strategy later this year. The last one was made in 2021, 4 years ago. We will strengthen our cybersecurity under the new laws. The initial government budget for cybersecurity this year is 205 billion Japanese yen. It's roughly 1.3 billion euros. It's not big money compared with you, but I'm sure. But it is 4 times larger than 15 years ago. We are making a good progress. But in terms of cybersecurity, nothing is enough. We might have very sophisticated attacks from state actors, non-state actors, we might not recognize them even now. So what can universities do for cybersecurity research? Cybersecurity is a team sport. You love soccer, we love baseball. But we have to organize a diverse team. So as Oya Sensei discussed, interdisciplinarity is a key. So we have to organize a good team of interdisciplinary scholars and talented geeks, actually. We call otaku in Japanese. So those disciplines in cybersecurity include, but not limited to, computer science, of course, psychology, geopolitics, economics, political science, law, and foreign language. So we have to understand Italian mafia language, right? And you have to understand Japanese Yakuza language. It's quite difficult, actually. But Italy and Japan are usually not sources of cyber attacks. We are victims. However, we should not just wait to be attacked. So we should be proactive to defend our life, property, and dignity. So my talk is shorter because we are running out of time. So, but thank you very much. So we will have a better collaboration in the future for research. Grazie. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Tsuchiya, so much also for helping me to keep the time. It was a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much. So I would like to accompany all the panelists again with thank you from the audience. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we are slightly in delay, but yet reasonably in time. So I would like to... So we have good news. The ambassador of Italy, Gianluigi Benedetti, is visiting us at the end of this session, so we will have the final remarks from him. I was very glad to have here him. Okay, so I would like to go to the panel 6 now. Economic and financial sustainability of systems and territories. And I call on the stage the panelists, Professor Laura Ramacciotti, Rector of University of Ferrara. Professor Kimitaka Nishitani, Director of Research Institute for Economics and Business Administration in Kobe University. And Professor Giovanni Molari, Rector Alma Mater University of Bologna. Okay, thank you, panelists, for coming on the stage, and we will start from Professor Laura Ramacciotti. Please, on the stage.
Good afternoon to everyone, distinguished colleagues. It's a great honor to be here at the Italian Pavilion of Expo in Osaka to present PENTRER, Public Engagement for Ecological Transition in Emilia-Romagna, founded by the Italian Ministry for University and Research and formed by the University of Emilia-Romagna, Ferrara, Bologna, Parma, Modena, and Reggio Emilia, together with the region. PENTRER is closely linked to Ecosister, Emilia-Romagna Innovation Ecosystem founded through Italy's National Recovery and Resilience Plan, with the aim of bringing research, technology, and knowledge into direct dialogue with the needs of society, industry, and the environment. Our regional innovation system has deep historical roots shaped by Emilia-Romagna geography, cultural heritage, and strong civic institutions. The university of our consortium form a symbolic triangle connected by the Via Emilia, an ancient Roman road that today represents a corridor for the exchange of knowledge goods and ideas. This axis intersects with the route linking Rome and Venice, connecting the Pennines with the Po River Delta, creating a unique innovation landscape. This landscape includes the high technology network, the world-renowned districts like the Food Valley, Motor Valley, and Data Valley, and a strong culture of public-private cooperation. Ecosystem focuses on major global challenges, the climate crisis, public health, and sustainable industrial development. These challenges are addressed through a combination of technology transfer, startup incubation, interdisciplinary research, and education, all under a collaborative model that brings together universities, businesses, and institutions. Our aim is to demonstrate how local strength can drive global transformation, connecting the digital transition, sustainable employment, and well-being. This represents our contribution to the UN 2030 agenda. From the 2012 earthquake to the 23 flood, Emilia-Romagna has shown how cooperation between citizens, institutions, and enterprises can turn adversity into opportunity. The regional model is based on collaboration, participation, and a robust network of small and medium-sized enterprises. It not only drives economic growth, contributing nearly 10% of Italy's national GDP, but also delivers one of the highest quality of life in Europe. At Expo 2025, Pentrer highlights the resilience of our region by showing how universities function as open hubs where knowledge and innovation are shared to benefit society in three key areas: saving lives through research that protects biodiversity, monitors ecosystems, and mitigates the effect of harmful substances and human activity; empowering lives by promoting sustainable agriculture, aquaculture, carbon farming, and soil health in areas like the Po Valley and the Adriatic coast; connecting lives via transport system, innovation networks, and inter-university collaboration at national and international levels. Our public engagement tools include here at Expo holograms, interactive displays, and the active participation of students and researchers ranging from high school to PhD level. The synergy between the university and the region is focused on nurturing the next generation of researchers. As an example, in March, the region allocated funding for 100 new doctoral scholarships, concentrating on 4 key areas: digital transition, ecological transition, health and well-being, economic and social transition. Pentrer shows how scientific research, when rooted in its territory, can have global relevance. Italy and Japan share many challenges: seismic risk, climate vulnerability, demographic shifts, but also the same values: a respect for tradition, a passion for innovation, and a shared pursuit of a good life. We believe that this shared vision will lead to new collaboration between our universities and new steps forward in building a more sustainable and connecting future. Thank you very much for your attention. Arigato gozaimasu.
Thank you very much, Professor Ramaciotti. And now I would like to call on the stage Professor Kimitaka Nishitani, Director of Research Institute for Economics and Business Administration in Kobe University. Please, Professor Nishitani.
Buongiorno. 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 Okay. I became clever. I'm Kimitaka Nishitani of Kobe University. And my research field is corporate sustainability management. And Kobe University is located on Kobe, next to Osaka. Actually, Kobe is famous for Kobe beef. Do you know Kobe beef? Actually, the Kobe University, our university, sells Kobe University beef. Yeah, but it is very expensive. And you can get it only department store in Tokyo. But I recommend it to use when you cook bistecca or cotolette milanese. Yeah. Actually, today's my title is Rising Awareness of Sustainability Through Conventional Japanese Management, not the Kobe University brief. The key to addressing the global social and environmental sustainability issue lies in how to effectively encourage companies to take action. Given that, many studies suggest that corporate sustainability activities can enhance not only social and environmental performance, but also financial performance. Actually, the concept of a win-win relationship between social and environmental value and economic value can attract many companies. However, as you can see, the problem is that the relationship between these values is not always win-win. Indeed, the concept of a win-win relationship is not widespread in practice. On the other hand, the corporate sustainability activities that prioritize economic value over social and environmental value are nothing more than sustainability washing. This is just how can I say? Just saying, talking without doing, which is the business as usual implement in the name of sustainability. Ideally, when balancing social and environmental value and economic value through corporate sustainability activities, social and environmental value should be prioritized over economic value. For example, the concept of outside-in in the SDG compass. But it doesn't mean economic value should be ignored, because it is not realistic for companies to ignore economic value. Accordingly, the sustainability has to be linked to its main business. For the purpose, the prerequisite is to position sustainability as a factor in the success of the main business. Then, suggestions from conventional Japanese management could be helpful. For example, Sampo Yoshi, it means triple satisfaction, happy, 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 which advocated benefit for the seller, the buyer, and the local community. The idea is that business should be for the benefit for all people, not just the seller and the buyer. And this was the key to success for Edo era merchant. Edo era is in 80,000. It's in other words, samurai era. The other lies in the words of Mr. Konosuke Matsushita, founder of Panasonic. A company is a public institution that serves society, not just its own interests. As a result, Panasonic has grown into a global enterprise. You can see the Panasonic pavilion in this expo. These examples suggest that even if it is not called sustainability, elements and the spirit of sustainability have already long been part of mainstream business in Japan. And the business that takes society and environment into account can also benefit the economy as a consequence. This is a very preferable and acceptable way for companies to promote sustainability. And therefore, I propose raising awareness of sustainability through conventional Japanese management when companies in any country engage in sustainability activities. We conduct some related joint research with companies at Kobe University. For example, comprehensive social science research on consumer attitude toward recycled materials and value creation in business-to-business companies with Daisail Corporation, and joint research to achieve decarbonization management in small and medium-sized enterprises with Shinkin Central Bank. Shinkin Central Bank means a central financial institution for the cooperative regional financial institutions in Japan. Based on the joint study with Shinkin Central Bank, we published a guideline to decarbonization management for small and medium-sized enterprises. I hope this idea and our studies will contribute to a win-win relationship between social and environmental value and economic value, not only at a global level, but also local level for resolving sustainability issues. And I hope we can jointly research with you in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Nishitani, for your Sampo Yoshi message. Happy, happy, happy. And I would like now to call on the stage Professor Giovanni Molari, who is the rector of Alma Mater University of Bologna. Alma Mater because it's the oldest university in the world. Please.
Thank you very much. I'm Professor of Agricultural Machines, a rector of the University of Bologna from 2021. Today I will present you the project coordinated by the University of Bologna that is GREENS, growing, resilient, inclusive, and sustainable. Is a similar project to the other one that involved 12 universities and 14 institutions. GREENS built the Amelia Knowledge Platform. That is a digital ecosystem, a tool with legal environment and storage computing technologies to create, enrich, and merge data from multiple sources, georeferenced, administrative, firm level, and individual data. The platform is an open platform that permits the public administration to support data-driven and transparent policy decisions, the university and research to storage the infrastructure, to storage data, to support, to create and share tools for data analysis, firms and also citizens to transparent data access and to support the decision. The main outputs are tools for data integration and analysis, safety and privacy and transparency, artificial intelligence application in controlled environments, services for research and policy, and knowledge creation, management, transfer, and at the end, user interface and collaboration. To show better the opportunity of, there are other two slides probably, another one. Yes, is here. Okay. The slide presents one example of the opportunity of GREENS and the Amelia platform. The example is on energy efficiency. Is a subject really relevant in this moment because we need to use better the energy in Italy, but probably all over in the world. And the challenge in Italy is that most buildings do not have energy performance certificates. And the certificates have a big cost. And the platform take data from the ecosystem, take multiple sources and use this data together with artificial intelligence to provide an easy evaluation of APC. This opportunity, this could permit to use this data to improving energy efficiency, to have policy to finance projects to support the transformation of our buildings in more efficient buildings and so on. And this is only one example, but the platform could be used also for the university to share our infrastructure, to share our tools, to share our instruments. Because I think in this moment in which we have a lot of problems everywhere, in the financing of the universities, in the grants, in the competitions, the only way to overcome our problems is to share, to work together, to share our implements, and this could be a platform to be used to be more connected between our universities. Is the third times for me in Japan in the last year, because I think that Japan is one of the main nations in which we can work in the future. Our university could be more connected, and I think that this platform could be an example, but there are other examples that we can use to increase our cooperation. And we have financed also specific programs from the University of Bologna to finance mobility between Japanese university and Bologna University, because I think that this is the way to work better together in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Molari, for your insightful presentation. Then I would like to thank again all the panelists. Thank you very much. So, please leave the stage, and we go through the last section. The last session is the panel number 7, and the title is Circular and Sustainable Made in Italy. And the panelists are Professor Sergio Cavalieri, Rector of University of Bergamo. And Professor Michio Yamaguchi, Vice President, Kyoto Prefectural University. Okay, so let's start with Professor Sergio Cavalieri, and please, with your insightful presentation.
Yes, thank you. Oh, it's already here, so I don't need it. Okay, konnichiwa from my side also. Thank you very much for the invitation, and thanks to our president for this incredible day that we are experiencing together. So I'm here to present another research platform, which is called Mix Circular and Sustainable Made in Italy. I would like, if it's possible, to show the video. I'm asking, okay.
Welcome to the essence of Italian excellence,
where tradition, innovation, and sustainability mix to create a legacy of distinction.
Italy is the place where social responsibility meets cultural heritage.
In a unique blend of tradition and progress.
Italy excels in design, fashion, and automation thanks to its rich heritage.
Craftsmanship and a great attention to detail.
Italian companies, universities, and research institutions now mix together, leading the change towards a more sustainable future.
In Italy, sustainability is not a trend, it's a way of life.
A mix of positive attitudes to the future. Being prepared for the future is core for staying ahead in our evolving world.
Research plays a critical role in supporting all companies by providing a mix of insights, solutions, and opportunities.
People and teams are the cornerstone of success. If you mix competencies and culture, the future is yours.
Staying ahead and being a strong countrywide team is mandatory.
A made-in-Italy future where the essence of Italian excellence, tradition, Innovation and sustainability mix to create a legacy of distinction.
Welcome from my side also to Ambassador Excellency Gigio Benedetti. Thanks for being here. I remember we had some time together when you were advisor of the minister, and we worked together for another important country with China, and we had also some time together in Israel during your embassy. So thanks. Regarding the project, this is a research platform encompassing several universities, led by Politecnico Milan. We are a leader of one of the spokes as a UniBG. We have 25 partners, 3 key sectors of the Italian industry, which are fashion and furniture, industrial automation. And you can see here we have a very important spectrum of Italian companies, above all in the 3 sectors that I was mentioning before. Regarding the project is talking as you, we're already watching the video. It's regarding the sustainability in the manufacturing sector. That's the main core of this project, and in particular, putting a focus on 3 main industries. Taking a specific highlight on the product side and on the process supply chain side. So, in the time available, I will share with you some of the projects that also UniBG, our University of Bergamo, is involved with. These are specific on the textile area, so it's on study application and the characterization of eco-friendly solution for textile finishing, in particular on how to adopt finishing bio-based textile finishing treatments with the special properties in order to replace harmful chemicals and promote circular textile economy. Another project is on circular design velomobile, so human-powered velomobile made in Italy, using additive manufacturing as a main technology for building the components that then are assembled in the velomobile. The third one is called Aurora. This is more on smart products for sport, work, and safety, in particular for creating with low cost and recyclability opportunities also for disabled people, so for inclusion, for managing, also giving the possibility also to disabled to have a better approach to sport activities. This is more on the product design. So this is the product design side. While if we talk about more on the process, supply chain design, we have these 3 main projects, 4 projects. One is on servitization. It's called PaperX. So how to enable SMEs to offer servitized solutions. So how to change their business models in order to provide not only product, but also service solution along the life cycle of the product, taking into account also total cost of ownership and total life cycle costs. Then the Restart project, it's on specific on textile and leather supply chains. In particular, you know that in Italy we have a very important, relevant economy based on textile and leather, and the fashion in particular, on how to manage and how to have a seamless solution, supply chain solutions for these specific sectors. Of course, with an assessment also on how to enable companies to have a transition towards a circular economy. And one specific project on the furniture sector. In particular, we have several districts, industrial districts around throughout Italy on the furniture sector. In particular, the main focus here on how to make resilient these sectors which have been affected in the past of, by many strong disruptions in terms of the different tiers of the supply chain. The fourth one is related to, this is very
actual from this point of view regards the how to reorganize the supply chain, how to reshore some of the manufacturing activities at the Italian, European level, taking into account all the disturbances and disruptions given by, we suffered the pandemic situation, we are suffering of the tariff situation, and so how to enable a company to reassess and to reconfigure the supply chain in order to have an understanding of the different scenarios, different scenario models that could change, adapt to the different conditions of the, inner and outer ecosystem. So this is just a glimpse of the different projects that the MIX platform is working on. And of course, more information can be driven also on the MIX website. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor Cavalieri. I would like now to call on the stage Professor Yamaguchi, Vice President of Kyoto Prefectural University.
Thank you, Professor Rector Cavalieri, for sharing us with a very inspiring insight into how to develop sustainability through innovation in manufacturing. And at Kyoto Prefectural University, we approach sustainability through another point of view, which is the food sustainability. So let me talk about that today. Before I actually start, let me explain a bit about the word prefectural. I'm not really sure whether this word is really sort of usually used in Italian context, because as a vice president of the international affairs, when I go abroad, people ask me, in the States, for example, sort of, what's prefecture? Does it mean religion? And actually, if you are not familiar with the word, that means similar to states or provinces. So Kyoto Prefectural University is a public university or state university operated by the Kyoto local government. And this means we are deeply rooted in the local community while also working to serve as a bridge to the world. Now, let me talk about the first slide. Japanese food and Italian cuisine share many common values. Both emphasize locality, respecting regional ingredients and seasonal cycles. By the way, I was very much impressed with the lunch today. You just said sort of a small snack, so I was wondering whether I should actually go out, but when I saw this sort of a very fancy sort of caprese and good hot cheese, good selection of hot cheese and the wine, and I was really, this is Italian, sort of Italian pavilion. What else could I have expected? That was what I thought. Anyway, so both Japanese food and Italian food emphasize locality, respecting regional ingredients and seasonal cycles. They also embody a balance of tradition and innovation, treasuring the past while adapting to the present. Moreover, both culinary traditions are deeply connected to the idea of sustainability. This includes environmental sustainability, but also not only that, but also cultural continuity and social well-being. At Kyoto Prefectural University, we value these shared perspectives. We aim to promote cross-cultural dialogue through the study of food and contribute to the sustainable society through culture, the arts, and the sciences. Slide 2. One of the most distinctive features of our university is its interdisciplinary approach to Japanese food, recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage. At KPU, the Center for Japanese Food Culture and Department of Japanese Food Culture Science conduct integrated research and education across natural sciences and humanities and social sciences. This academic structure reflects our university's origins 140 years ago as an agriculture and women's school. That legacy continues today as we focus on food, life, environment, and society. But when I made this slide, I thought this sort of KPU's 140 years legacy might sound quite impressive, but now I realize, after having listened to many of the presentations, Italian universities are much older than this, so I can't really win much by saying just our 140 years legacy. But anyway, we do have that. Okay, in connection with this, let me lastly introduce one of our researchers' research. Our Vice President, Professor Masumura, is conducting pioneering research on special rice variety called Kyō no Yume, Dream of Kyoto. This is naturally muted, non-GM, dwarf rice, very short. Characterized by a deficiency in the plant hormone gibberellin, which results in a very short stature, only about 20 centimeters tall. Unlike conventional rice, this dwarf variety is not suitable for outdoor mass farming due to its low yield per plant. As a result, it has not been widely recognized among farmers. However, its compact size makes it ideal for hydroponic and vertical cultivation using LED lighting in plant factories. Professor Masumura's research focuses on developing a cultivation system using this variety to produce recombinant antibody proteins, a kind of green bioproduction platform. Because the growing cycle is only about 3 months rather than 6 months, this system enables stable and efficient high-quality protein production in a compact, energy-efficient, and sustainable way. He will be presenting this research at the Osaka Expo in July, from the 28th of July to 3rd of August in Kansai Pavilion, if you're interested, as one of the innovative agricultural technologies with the potential to transform the future of sustainable food and medicine production. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. We sincerely hope that today's dialogue will lead to future collaboration between Italy and Kyoto through our shared vision of sustainability rooted in both culture, heritage, and scientific innovation. Grazie.
Thank you very much, Professor Yamaguchi. Very interesting presentation. So we would like to thank again the two panelists. Thank you. Leave the stage. Please leave the stage. Thank you. And now we have the big honor to have here His Excellency, the Ambassador of Italy in Japan, Gianluigi Benedetti, please, for a remark.
Good afternoon, Italian and Japanese rectors and presidents, ladies and gentlemen. I am truly happy that an unexpected change in my agenda allowed me to jump on a train and arrive in time for the closing of this important forum in the beautiful and highly visited Italian pavilion at Expo Osaka. As you know, this initiative by the Italian Conference of the University Rectors, to which the Embassy has ensured a decisive contribution, and I would like to publicly thank my collaborators for this excellent result. This initiative is the follow-up of the previous mission to Japan of a CRUI delegation and of numerous missions of Italian universities. This intensified activity of our university towards Japan is part of the broader collective effort of the Italian system to strengthen the bilateral relation within the framework of the strategic partnership launched by our two prime ministers in January 2023. Already then,
but in even greater detail in the meeting between the two prime ministers in February 2024 and in the action plan defined immediately afterwards, the strengthening of the relations in the academic and scientific sectors was one of the fundamental pillars. Both on the educational and research levels, the goal of greater mobility of students, professors, and researchers has been our point of reference, and I'm truly satisfied to see that today this forum, aimed at the networking and presenting the respective university realities, has such a broad and high-level participation. I think it is an important and concrete sign of mutual interest between the two academic and research systems that gives me hope that in the coming months and years, new collaborations can be developed based on those already existing. And we have many examples. Giuseppe is one of our living examples of great collaborations in Japan. The basic condition for this growth in our relations are all there. In addition to the political framework I mentioned earlier, we observe an interesting tendency of the Japanese university and scientific systems to strengthen the path of internationalization, and we also note a growing interest of students in seizing opportunities to study abroad, not only in British and American universities. On the research level, also thanks to the drastic change in the global geopolitical and geoeconomic situation, Japanese funding agencies and research teams are increasingly moving towards collaborations with the best European and Italian research institutions. In this regard, last year, following the meeting between the prime ministers in February, the Minister of University and Research of Italy launched a new Japan program financing two large joint projects, one on batteries technologies and the other on gravitational waves. It is our intention to continue this program by launching two additional bilateral projects co-financed with Japanese institutions within this year. Finally, always observing the Japanese reality, I want to underline that in the last 2 years, we are witnessing a rapid development of an ecosystem favorable to the incubation and growth of startups. It is a government policy supported by significant public funding for multiple years, which opens up important new opportunities for bilateral collaboration, especially, I believe, in the scaling up process of our and their best startups. However, optimal conditions also exist on the Italian front, and I believe that today's presentations have highlighted all these aspects. I would only like to underline for our Japanese friends who are listening to us here in the room and online that our university and research systems are experiencing a truly particular and dynamic moment in these years. This is thanks to the extraordinary and significant resources of the National Recovery and Resilience Plan, which includes, among its main axes, the strengthening of the university and research systems. In implementing this plan, the government has made available to the Italian academic and research systems funding that has allowed the creation of new national centers and the so-called extended partnerships. They are public-private networks between universities, research centers, companies, and public administration to carry out basic research and applied research in strategic sectors, and to promote the transfer of research to the real economy, strengthening the Italian technological supply chain and its ability to participate in European and global chains, including the Japanese one. In this overall picture that I have briefly outlined, I am certain that our bilateral relations in the academic and scientific sector will be able to grow at a sustained pace in the coming years, especially by seizing the new opportunities opened by the ongoing transformations that I have mentioned. On its part, the Embassy, as it has always done, will continue to provide its enthusiastic support. In fact, I personally firmly believe that the cornerstone for the growth of stronger and deeper international relations is precisely the academic and scientific cooperation. It is in fact the driving force for greater familiarity and friendship among our young generations, and the push for greater integration among our industrial system, especially in the high-tech sectors. In turn, greater industrial integration will be the engine to accelerate the mobility of students and professors, and to increase bilateral trade relations, especially in the sector of intermediate and industrial goods, which still represent a very small share of our export. Therefore, on the eve of the celebration of the 160th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Italy and Japan that will be held next year, this virtuous circle will contribute in a win-win logic to the strengthening of friendship, trust, and cooperation between our two countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Benedetti, for your very enlightening discussion and explanation of the relationship between Italy and Japan. So, ladies and gentlemen, the session is over. Thank you for your continued attention. And we would like to call again Professor Gian Antonio on the stage to say goodbye to everyone and close the remarks.
Thank you, Giuseppe. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ambassador. Grazie mille. Thank you for coming. Thank you, of course, to all our Japanese guests and friends, I may say. I think that today was a very special day because not only we talked about our friendship, our common heritage, and also the respect of our cultures, of our past, of our elderly society. We have very common values. Not only we talked about this, that are really very important points, of course, to build a relationship, to build a friendship, but we touched with our hands so many fields, so many research, so many things that we can work on since from today in the next years. I think that we have many things that we can do together. First of all, of course, work on our students, exchange programs, PhD programs, I repeat. I talked with a few of you of our industrial PhD programs. That is something that we could do together, we should do together. International industrial PhD programs. This is the best way to connect the industry with our innovative research. And we should really talk about this, maybe sign something new, a new program to build postgraduate studies. We have to change the PhD programs. This is something that Europe is thinking of, and I think that if we do with Japan, we can make a point at international level. Because also in the United States or in UK or in other countries, there is not such a program. So we can build together because we also know that our private companies, that our industry needs innovation. and needs to foster innovation in AI, in quantum technologies, in all the things that we have seen today, amazing research we have seen today. So I think that, I want to close, and I will give these remarks by saying that I was extremely happy, and I thank all of you, because this is my second time in Japan in 9 months, and we wait for you in Italy, and we'll come back again and again, because we have seen in 9 months how many things, how many research more we have signed in 9 months. So things can change. We can change the future of our children. We can change the future of our 2 countries by working together and believing in science, because science can really make the progress of our society possible. So let's dream with open eye, as Aristotle was saying. So let's have a common vision of the future. Thank you very much.
Okay, please come up on the stage for the last picture.